Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Dirty Napkins. Tonight, we'll be interviewing Teezy Thomas. He's an influencer, motivational speaker, and business owner. We'll even get into some of his entanglements. Tune in. Let's go get some napkins dirty. My God, man, I'm excited to sit down and talk with you.
Hey, let's talk.
All right, man. So I guess let's start off with this, right? So I know who you are, Teezy, right? But I'd like for you to introduce yourself and tell everyone who may not know you a little bit about yourself.
I go by Teezy Thomas. My name is Teezy Thomas. I'm entrepreneur, business owner, and brand ambassador, event host. Really anything you want me to do, I can do it. I learned how to bartend. I do that too. You see what I'm saying?
I'm excited, man. I was excited to sit down and talk about you when Kay told me I'd be interviewing you. You actually were friends with my cousin Houston.
Yeah.
Right. That was my second cousin, rather. So, okay. Were y'all in like business together? Like, what was that friendship like?
To be honest, Northside Lee Vance, he really brought me in connection with Houston because we used to throw parties at a club called Floods, and he really was like he was the godfather of it all. Really taught us everything, that we know about the club business today.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess to just jump right into it, right? So one of the more prominent things that has happened in your life, from my research at least, is you did some time, right? I want to start the conversation off with that, and we can build on that. So could you tell me a little bit about like that entire situation?
Oh yeah, I did a few years in prison, things that I shouldn't have been doing, but to be honest with you, do I regret anything? I don't, because I really learned a lot from it. I don't think I'd be the man I am today, if I didn't go through that phase in my life. It really made me a better person. It made me more street smart and business minded, believe it or not. It made me not want to go back.
I got you.
It made me have a testimony to talk to the youth, about things that they probably be doing right now that my testimony could probably turn them away from it, So yeah, I did that, and now it made me a better person, made me a better man, not only for me, but for my family and all.
Well, let me ask you this then. So what would you say is one of the hardest lessons, or what lesson did you have to learn the hard way?
A hard life lesson was really being a better father to my kids. Because I was so in tune with just me, and then when you bring another life into this world, you have to buckle down and just, it ain't about you no more, it's about your kids. And I still got a long way to go, but I'm trying, and, they my lifeline. That's who my life revolves around, is them, so. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about it. Nothing, no specifics really, but we were talking a little bit. I'm not a father. I don't have any kids. But what's the dynamic like of being a father and kind of like being in the nightlife? Because from what my research that I've done on you, it seems like you're really prominent in like the nightlife. You have like a M-Bar thing on Thursday.
I do M-Bar every Thursday. And we started that like, I say it's going on 5 years. Started about 5 years ago. We do lip syncing, and I've been pretty successful at that. I couldn't have done it without, Richard Bradley, K Riggs, and my guy D, and the whole M-Bar team and staff. I couldn't have done none of this, without them. They brought me along and really just sat me down and said this is what they wanted to do, and they put it in my hands, and I did it. And we've been going hard, and we've been going strong ever since. So, just big ups to them guys, man, because they really looked out on me, man. They really let me be creative on what I wanted to do. And yeah, man, I love it. I enjoy it. But when it come to being a father, they just the mother of my kids gotta be understanding that this is how I make my money, is how I make a living. Some things that they even have to sacrifice, to make it better on me. It just, sometimes I gotta wake up from being out to 4 in the morning, wake up and get my babies, man. And hey, I be tired, but I gotta throw in the movie, try to sneak in a nap or something.
Yeah.
I'm just being real.
That dynamic has to be crazy, right?
Lord have mercy. But it worked out though.
Okay.
It worked out for the best.
Well, just to double back briefly to touch on it a little bit, in one of your Instagram posts, you said you were lucky to go to the pen.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit? Like, cause that you don't hear many people say I was lucky to go, right? Like you hear a lot of people say, man, I wish I didn't go. Obviously, you know, I made some bad choices or whatever those choices may have been, right? But you said that you felt like you were lucky to go. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
When I say I was lucky to go to the prison, I was lucky to go because I didn't die. And you know, that's basically what all it meant. Like a lot of people that get a chance to go to prison, learn from it, come out and be successful. A lot of people go back. A lot of people never get out. And a lot of them just end up in the grave. And I really was basically talking about the Lord spared my life instead of him bringing me up to glory, no matter if I'm going to heaven or hell. He allowed me to go to prison, and I learned from it. That's why I said I was lucky to go, because I'm still living, I'm still prospering.
I got you. Did that experience help you grow in any way? Like, what I mean, because I mean, obviously, again, I'm ignorant to what that's like, so I'm just, you know, asking a few questions to kind of understand a little bit better.
Yeah, you gotta look at it, man. You know, what was it, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, you know.
Those are the years you spent in? So you missed some of your, like, your
I call them my golden years.
Yeah.
I was in, yeah, man. I basically grew up in there. I became a man in there, you know, and like I say, I don't regret it. Do I want to be out there? I want to kick with my friends, of course, but what if I didn't make it out? That's the only thing I look at. I wanted to go to college with my friends. I wanted to experience, you know, the yard and, you know, probably pledge or something like that. But, you know, that just wasn't the Lord. He ain't ordained that for me, you know. And I came out swinging, and I'm all right.
Well, and I'll come back to a question I have around. You said the Lord ordained it for you, but another question I have for you is, so around I guess I'll go ahead and get right into it. Around the Lord ordained, do you believe more so in fate, or do you believe that like a person shapes their own destiny?
I believe in both, you know, because you can look at certain stories in the Bible where you can go around what the Lord wants you to do, but you eventually gonna end up doing it. So you can put up different type of tests on your own, you know, which you can make the road harder for yourself. I feel like I made the road harder for myself because I had the choice to do what I wanted to do, and I decided to do it. And that's the consequence that came to me, you know? So, yeah, I feel like it's both. Okay. That's how I feel.
So in that then, how did you transition? Right, like, so you did whatever happened. I don't want to get into the minute details of that, but so you went from this lifestyle, right? I'm assuming that prison kind of conditions you to live and think a certain way. How did you go from that to kind of like this nightlife guy, or this just this entrepreneur, this business owner? Like, how did that happen? Like, was that transition easy? Or
the reason I could say the transition wasn't as hard for me, because I really had favor the entire time I was locked up. Like, literally, like, yes, I was incarcerated, but my mind wasn't incarcerated. And I had good friends around me. But it's funny you asked me that. Like I say, my best friend, Northside Lee, he went to, he wanted a role in a play for Jay Lee. And when we got there, he didn't want to do it. And I was like, man, you done woke me up and we done came out here, man. I said, somebody gonna do it. So I went and did it. I got the role. And when I got that role, I really met a lot of different people that was nothing like me, that really made me a better person. You know, like the whole Jay Lee team, like they really molded and shaped me to be like just a better man. You know, Jay Lee had me wearing suits.
Excuse my ignorance here. Like, who exactly is Jay Lee?
Jay Lee is the director of every play I've ever been in my life. Okay. You know, it's a real good friend of mine. You know, he really kicked me off with really the nightlife, the entertainment world. Not only just the nightlife. I won't say the nightlife, the entertainment world. And the Jay Lee team, people like El Cherie Dean. You know, she got the El Cherie alert. You know, and things of that nature. Like, they really sat me down and just gave me pointers on life. So I started doing plays. So when I started doing plays, that led to me and my name getting out there more, because I was pretty good at it. So when that happened, my homeboys, Goonie, Dirty Costello, Richie Rich, DJ Java, people, and my other homies were like, man, we gotta start doing parties. So we started doing parties. We did one of the first parties with Denim and Diamond in Martini Room. Okay. Like the first one. You know, and that's crazy, D and K Riggs, that was theirs too. And we did that, and then I linked up with my best friend who I went to the J. Lee audition with, Northside Lee. He was like, bro, we gotta start throwing parties. At first, I really went with it, like I was just chilling. And then I eventually, you know, started doing it with him, introduced me to Houston, and man, the rest is history, man. I just never stopped.
So in that circle, right? What's some of the best, I guess, what's some of the best or most defining advice that you kind of received, or something you kind of hang your hat on? Is there anything that someone may have told you and said, oh, you know what, that's a good way to look at it. I may try and implement that into, you know, what I'm doing.
Stress never solved the problem.
You expound on that a little bit for me? That's an interesting quote.
Reason I say stress never solved the problem because it don't. Like, you can stress about anything, when you finish stressing, the problem is still there. You know, and I live by that. That's why stress causes cancer. Stress can cause memory loss. Stress can cause a lot that you probably would never think it can cause. And I always live off stress never caused the problem. So I just keep rolling with the punches, man. So I basically live by that.
Okay. So let's kind of shift gears a little bit here, right? So shifting a little bit from your nightlife, right? So obviously the spot we're doing this interview at, you're part owner in this spot, right? So what's kind of your vision? Like, you got a show coming up or something like that, a podcast?
I got a podcast coming up, you know, my homeboy Party, you know, and my, it's crazy, man, how me and him met, how me and Paul met. I really been knowing my guy Paul for a minute, ever since he was singing solos at New Horizon. That's been my guy, see what I'm saying? And really, to be honest, they brought me along.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they really brought me along, and they really gave me their vision. We put our vision together. Like, I really can't say my vision, you know, because I'm not in this by myself. And I feel like that's how you have a successful team, you know, when everybody sit down at the round table and you put your vision together and make something big, you know. And they trusted me with just growing with them, you know, and I can't thank them enough, you know. So yeah, man, we got a lot of stuff coming, especially we got our grand opening. I'm not gonna tell you the date, but you're gonna see it on social media. We got our grand opening, really soft opening coming up this year. We're finna start doing everything this year to get prepared for next year. You know, we just got a lot, man. We got 160, I think 68 acres, man, to go with. Yeah, like we got some stuff coming, man. You know, but we need some money too, so. Just hold up, you know, we ain't millionaires.
Slow and steady. Okay, well, you know, to I guess kind of continue the conversation, going back to your nightlife career, right? When you're in that career, like, what were some of the struggles? What were some of the challenges? And if somebody came to you and they said, hey, Teezy, I want to get into nightlife. I want to start hosting an event on a Thursday. What guidance would you give them? Where would you tell them to start?
I tell them to start. You gotta be confident in yourself. Okay. You gotta believe in your dream. It's not gonna happen overnight. You know, you gotta have, with every successful event I had, every last one of them, I always had a good team behind me. Like, you could never do nothing without a team. No matter if they behind the scenes or in front of the camera or whatever. You gotta have a good team behind you, people that believe in you, people that'll speak life into you, you know, and that's what it was with me and my guy, you know, Lee. And like I say, I'm doing business now. We know Richard, K. Riggs, and D, and the whole M-Bar staff. They really just breathed life into me and just were telling me, like, man, look, man, whatever you want to do, you know, we can do it. You know, we sit down and talk about things. You know, we done had our bumps and bruises here and there, but that's a part of, you know, family. You know, that's what's going to happen. And if anybody had to ask me something, like, they had to give me, if I had to give them one good piece of advice, man, you just got to believe in yourself.
Okay. So then, piggybacking off of that, what's Teezy's dream?
My dream is to make Jackson a better place for my kids.
That's a great segue. So I don't know if we talked about this. I live in Dallas, right? So, but I love Jackson. I'm born in Jackson, from Jackson. You're from Jackson, yeah. Right? Okay, born and raised. What side of town?
North Jackson.
North side.
Jackson, don't forget that.
I got you. I'm
from the north.
So I hear a lot, I see a lot, right? And like, people always tend to have like these their opinion on Jackson. Oh, Jackson's lacking this. Jackson's lacking that. In your opinion, what do you think? Do you think Jackson is lacking something? And then I guess my second question to that is, what do you think Jackson needs to do next?
I think the only thing Jackson probably be lacking right now is people in the community really taking a hold of their own community and changing it, because like I said last week, the police can't change the community, the mayor can't change the community, the sheriff can't change the community, the chief can't change the community, we can't do it. Well, they can't do it. But people within the community, I feel like they can change the community. That's where they at every day. You know, that's their area. You know, you gotta look at it, man. Back in the day, if little JoJo got in trouble, he got a whooping from down the street to his house, and he got a whooping there too. You know, but times have changed. You know, people really just turn a blind eye to a lot of things, and they take on I don't have nothing to do with that, or these kids won't listen. But I feel like you showed them that you love them, you cared. You know, I feel like they would listen to you. But since you turned a blind eye to them and their needs, you know, they're gonna get it how they live. You know, I used to be out there too, you know, but I came from a good household.
Really?
Yeah. I came from a 2-parent household, man. Had the best mom and dad ever, you know, and I just made my own decisions, you know, that got me in the position that I was in. But luckily, like I say, the Lord saved me, and I'm in it to win it now. But what I'm saying is right now, man, I feel like these older men and women need to really just take over their community, man. And I feel like it'll make a drastic impact on how people look at Jackson today.
So let me ask you this then. For the person who says, oh, there's nothing to do in Jackson, what would you say to them?
That's a lie. It's a lot to do in Jackson. It's just, are you willing to do it? You can get a Jackson Free Press and look at stuff you can do every day. And it's for free. So, nah.
That you don't buy that. No. I don't buy that. So let me ask you this then, right? So as far as kind of going back to Jackson, what are some of your? I know the restaurant we're kind of featuring in this episode is Zoe's. Is that a restaurant you frequent?
I went to Zoe's before. He's a good friend of mine, but you know, I really go to Josephine Kitchen every day.
That's your spot.
Josephine Kitchen my spot, man. You know, my homeboy, like I say, Northside Lee own that spot, and I don't even pay for food there. I know he be mad.
Well, I need to go with you then.
Yeah, that daily special, I'm going to get it.
I got you.
That's my brother right there. I support him in whatever you're doing.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So, you know, and I Teezy, I don't want to keep circling back, but I mean, I think it's just a good opportunity for people to learn, right? So, like, throughout it all, right, when you were kind of going through some of those, when you were missing some of your glory years, I guess. In that, I'm sure you had like a low moment, right? How did you bounce back from that? Like, what kind of lifted you up?
Like I say, man, I was real young when I went to prison. I had to grow up fast, and I think one of my low moments was, man, I was in Raymond Detention Center. I think I was going on my second year. This is crazy. I forgot about this. I was going on my second year in prison. And for some odd reason, my mom kept sending me money. They kept sending it back. Back then, you had to write a money order. And they'll say, you forgot to put the dot behind his middle name or some BS like that. Some BS. They kept sending my money orders back. So I ended up not having no food. And I was new. I didn't really want to ask nobody for nothing. You know, kind of like jailhouse rules. You know, I didn't want to ask nobody for nothing. And I was sitting in my room, man. It's a true story. It's crazy. I forgot about this. I was sitting in my room. We locked down, and then we locked down at 9 o'clock. Doors locked. Nothing's moving. Lights off. You probably laying on the floor looking at TV from under the door. And my roommate, me and him, his name was Brian Davis. It's crazy. I remember this verbatim. We was talking. You know, I was like, man, I'm hungry. This, and that. I got on my knees. I swear, man. I got on my knees. I prayed. I said, Lord, if you are real, you will find some way for me to eat the same way you did your children in the Bible. You will find a way for me to eat. Before I could say amen, like 20 noodles slid under my door. And I just looked at the food. And it was a guy named Shank, matter of fact. He said, hey man, you Tony's son, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, I supposed to been gave you this food. I forgot about it. I got a phone call saying send you some. And the guard just really let me come over and give this food. He ain't supposed to let me even come over here. And it messed me up, man. I was like, God, I can't believe you just did that. You know, like, that really was a moment just like, man, you know what? I'm meant to win it. I can do this. Now, even though I'm young, I'm ready to go home and everything, I'm here for a reason. You know, and ever since then, man, I got a million testimonies about how every jail I went to, I had ultimate favor. Like when I went to Walnut Grove, you have to go through classification. And going through classification, you can't have a job or anything like that. You really, like, getting used to the jail, really in your own zone. They just really molding you really to be there for a minute. And when I was leaving Rankin County, which was another jail, it was one of my guys, we was calling Raymond. He said, man, it's a job open for the chaplain, because I used to work for the chaplain. His name is Marcus Mann. And I was like, man, I'm gonna try to get that job when I get there. So I ended up going to Walnut Grove. Time I went in, I said, I need to speak to the chaplain. So the guy came up and said, you need to speak to the chaplain. I said, man, I need to speak to the chaplain, man. He said, why do you need to speak to the chaplain? I said, because I'm gonna work for him. I said, I prayed for it and I'm gonna get that job. He said, why are you so adamant on working for the chaplain? I said, because I prayed about it, man, and the Lord said that I'm gonna have that job and I'm gonna have it. Just let me know, where he at and send him the message. He said, okay, I'm gonna send him the message. So I ended up going to my cell. The same guy I talked to walked in my door and was like, I'm the chaplain. And man, for some reason, divine intervention whatsoever, I believe you. And I got a job working for the chaplain the second day I was incarcerated. I didn't supposed to get that job at all. And I ended up getting that job, and me and Marcus Mann, the chaplain, we really good friends to this day, and yeah, man, like I say,
so man. I got two questions on that, right? Like, so my first question is more so a statement, right? So like, your energy, your vibe, right? It feels good, right? Like you feel real friendly. You feel like you super charismatic. You got like a good vibe. Does that help any throughout this whole, like when you're in that process, like just you being such like this friendly guy, or you just being like this having this good spirit? Like did that play a part in anything for you? If not, that's okay.
Yeah and no, because I'm just an all around good person, but. And then I got another side, like I don't play games, with nobody. Like I ain't sweet on. Don't ever think that, So me just being me, I feel like it got me a long way. Like I never tried to be nobody else. I was always Teezy Thomas since July 25th, 1984. I ain't never changed or tried to be like nobody else or none of that. I'm always been me.
Well, what personality trait then probably gets you in the most trouble?
Man. Females, dog.
Yeah.
Females. Jesus Christ. I love women to death.
Yeah?
Everything about them. Like, I'm infatuated with them.
You're an equal opportunist?
I'm definitely a womanizer.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm a womanizer. I'm working on that.
I feel that. Well, that's good, man. We all got to grow, right? I feel that.
I'm growing, but hey.
Well, let me ask you this then, right? So, everything you went through, obviously, we kind of talked about this a little bit before we started recording, and you seem real passionate about like letting people learn from your mistakes. What advice or what do you want these kids or people or anyone who's kind of having, trying to find themselves, what do you want them to learn from you and your experience and what you've gone through?
I want them to know that you don't have to always go to jail to learn a lesson. You don't always have to go through it to learn from it. Like on this interview, you probably learned from me, but like, okay, some stuff that he talked about I never do in my life, because I know what that'll lead me to. That's why I'm passionate about talking to the kids, and that's why I'm passionate about telling people to take over their own community. Because a lot of people listen to you if you have a story behind it. And I have a story behind mine. If somebody going through something and you talk to them, they're probably like, oh, I ain't never been through nothing. They don't want to hear that. But if I talk to them, I'd have been through everything plus some, I could probably help that person. So
they can relate to you.
Yeah, that's where I come from, man. Like, yeah, I feel like that my story can impact and help people.
Is that something you're passionate about?
Oh yeah, man. Like I'm real passionate about just helping the community, man.
So in that, then, let's just sidebar, right? Like I'm not asking you to go on record and say this. Would you ever run for mayor?
I feel like I'm already the mayor.
You feel like you the unofficial mayor of the
Yeah,
Jack?
man. You know, even though the mayor's my good friend, you know, I feel like I'm already the mayor, man. And I got a good relationship with the mayor of Jackson too, man. He doing an awesome job, you know, with the city. You know, he doing a magnificent job, stuff that people that probably wouldn't even realize or know that he's doing. Like, he's done it. He's really trying to. And think about, you know, one thing I like about the mayor of Jackson is he listens to the people. Like, he's not the type to feel like he's too much, you know, to listen to what you have to say or your opinion or whatsoever. He actually sit down, he listens to the people, and he take heed to everything, you know, that we say. So I don't have absolutely nothing bad to say about him. I know there's a lot of stuff floating around about him, but, you know, they don't even know him. You know, I feel like if you get to know him, you know, you will see that he's doing everything he can, you know, for the city of Jackson. So I applaud him.
Well, we're not gonna talk he say, she say. I feel you on
I ain't
that.
talking about nothing on.
Yeah. So I want to talk back a little bit more about just kind of your vision for what you want to do around your show, right? Like, I mean, again, when I pulled up, you guys shot me the address. I pulled up for this interview. I was like, I want to say this into this camera. I was like mind blown, right? It's a lot of acres. So like, you want to interview people here? Like, what exactly do you want to, like, what's the goal of the podcast? And again, I know it may kind of fluctuate and change as things progress, but what do you want to do with that?
Man, this gonna sound crazy, but for some odd reason, I don't know if it's the Leo in me, you know.
You're Leo?
Yeah, I'm
not.
definitely
Are you
Leo.
big on the zodiac signs?
Yeah, and no. Because
Okay,
Leo
I don't know
is the
much
king of the
about it.
jungle, so yeah, I'm a Leo. And this probably sound crazy, but my homeboy Party and Paul came to me, you know, with their ideas and visions, and I think my ultimate goal was just surpassing what they ever dreamed on they can do. Because I know I'm gonna be all right, but I know like I always knew, and I always told people this when they worked for me, if your dream not bigger than mine, you can't work for me. You know, because I feel like it just wouldn't make no sense. And when Kay came to me, he was like, man, we gotta start doing this, this, and this. I knew if my dreams and goals and ambitions, when it's almost as big as his, that we wouldn't be able to work together. And I really just want them to, I want them to blow up and make millions, you know, and I'm gonna be right along with them, you know, but I just really want everybody's dreams to come true around me. I have came to the point to where it's not all about me. You know, it's about the people around you that's successful too. Like, ain't nothing like having a team of successful people. So that's just like if you walk in a establishment and see 15 people and you don't know who the boss is, it's because all of them are bosses. And that's how I look at everything that I do, man. I want everybody around me, man, to really, man, just boss up, man, and we're gonna take over whatever we put our minds to.
So let's build off of that word success, right? How does Teezy measure success? Is it abundance of money? Is it the freedom of kind of making the choices you want to make? How do you measure success?
I measure success off strictly a peace of mind. Money don't make you successful. You know how many celebrities it is that got money that's depressed? You know, like money is a great asset now. You know, to do what you want to do. You know, but you can name a lot of them that's not happy. You can think about right now, on top of your head, how many celebrities that you thought had it all committed suicide. You know, because they wasn't happy with all their money. So that's why I say, to me, success is just a peace of mind, man. Just being comfortable with who you are. You're successful right then. You know, so that's how I look at it.
And going back to kind of the whole point of the peace of mind and not knowing, you know, celebrities and all of that. Let me ask you, when you look at yourself, when you look within yourself, what is that one quality that you lean on, that you say, this is one of the pillars of what has made Teezy, quote unquote, successful?
This really came from one of my good friends. His name is Tremel Tillman. We did a play together. And Tremel is one of the best actors I probably ever witnessed and worked with in my life, hands down. And one day we was in the dressing room and he said, Teezy, can I tell you something? I'm like, what? He said, now I'm a great actor. He said, I can give myself that, I know how to act. He said, but man, you got that it factor, something I don't have. And he said, man, it's like you can take over a room when you walk through the door effortlessly. Like, and he was like, dog, I applaud you for that, man. He said, because you had to be born with that. He said, he said, I was born with a skill. I know how to act. He said, but you got the it factor, man. And he was like, man, that just really made me who I am. Like, I don't try to walk in the room and take over. And I don't try, some of the stuff that I do, the people that say I do, I don't try to do it. It just come off naturally.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to your point, I think that's naturally you. I was telling you before we started that when I was doing my research on you for this interview, I just kind of randomly, people were like, "Oh, you interviewing Teezy?" Yeah, I know. And like and as I was going through your Instagram, that's something I do when I'm researching people. I'm like seeing so many people from so many different walks of life in Jackson under your comments. So that tells me that like you're touching a lot of people, right? I guess I know I keep going back to this, but like going back to just like your influence in the nightlife of Jackson, like where do you want to see this go? Like you put in your Instagram bio, what do you want to do in the next 5 years? What are you waiting on? I'm paraphrasing that. Talk to me a little bit about that statement.
I feel like the Jackson nightlife, entertainment, or whatever you want to call it, I feel like it has so much room to grow. When I say so much room to grow, man, we can name places like the M Bars, the 4th Avenues, the Names and Faces, the Howlin' Miles, the Martins, the Pure Barn Grills. It's a lot of other places that people they put themselves in the bubble. You know, they really don't just get out there and just explore like what Jackson has going on. Like right now, me and you, anybody in this room, we don't know why they're waiting on the Fast Street District. I have no clue, you know, but I know that could bring so much revenue, you know, to the city. But now, this gonna sound crazy. The Fast Street District is taking a long time, but now we have Coach Prime is the head coach at Jackson State University, and
how you feel about that?
Oh man, I love it because I know it's gonna bring so much attention to the city that we've been needing. I'm talking about positive attention, you know, to the city of Jackson, man. Because it's like every time they talk about Jackson, they talk about the crime rate, they talk about the number one in obesity, number one in everything.
It's always negative, right? And that's why I said, like, man, you know, and I hate to cut you off, man. I get a little passionate about this again because I live in Dallas, man, but I'm born and raised in Jackson. I'm not from the north. I went to Callaway though, but I'm from out south. But like, I'm super passionate about Jackson, and like, I don't like that it's always like this negative connotation put with Jackson, right? So to your point, man, I'm excited that we getting some good publicity. I know we still got some things we need to work on, but that's why, like I said, I was excited to sit down with you because you have your hands in a lot in the city, and that's why I wanted to know, like, where do you think we're going? What do you like? What is your overall take? And I think I've asked that a little bit, but to kind of expound on it, what's your overall take on Jackson?
We on the up and up.
We're on the up and up.
Like,
you feel good about it?
Man, I feel great about it.
Can you tell me why?
I can give you
Take your time.
I can give you 3 reasons off the top of my head why I feel like we're on the up and up. We started, well, I ain't gonna say we. It's a guy named Chill Will. He owns the chicken coop out west. He got a group of men called Amongst Men that we're gonna start going from to community, you know, mentoring kids, doing community service, you know, things of that nature. I feel like that's number 1 on the list. Number two, I really feel like, man, that we finna have a lot of money come this way. You know, especially with, like I say, with Coach Prime being the head coach at Jackson State, people going to see like it's more opportunity in Jackson than you really think it is. So I feel like a lot of money from booster clubs whatsoever for to come, you know, this way. And I feel like the last on my list of why I'm happy about Jackson being on the up and up is because, man, it's my city, man. Yeah. I got kids here, a lot of them.
That's your dream.
Yeah, and I really want them to be proud of where they're from. You know, I don't want to be, I'm not gonna say no name. I want somebody to become a celebrity and move somewhere else and claim there, but not claim where they're from. Now, I want my kids to be proud to say they're from Jackson, Mississippi. You know, so.
Hang your hat on that shit.
Yeah, man, this is where we from. This us. We can build this. We don't have to move away to build this. We can do. It's a lot of stuff coming to Jackson that people don't even know about. Like Jackson just signed an exclusive deal with Amazon.
Mm-hmm. I heard about that a little bit.
Yeah, like people just don't know, man. It's a lot finna come to Jackson.
And we got a lot of talented people in Jackson too. Yeah, we got a lot of
the talent is.
Yeah.
Whew. So now people finna see what we had to offer.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the community, right? Like, I know we talked about it, but like you seem really passionate about the community. Like, what is it that has you so passionate? Is it just because of the situations that you were in that you like, you know, I want to make sure that like as a city, we have this community to foster the kids. Is it because of that? Like, what is it?
It's because I know I can make a change. And I feel like that's what I'm here for. I feel like that's what I'm on this earth for. You know, to make a change within the community. So right, the day I leave this earth, they knew that Teezy Thomas really did his best to try to change the narrative of the city. And I feel like I'm gonna be here for a long time, and I'm gonna be living to see the change.
Would you ever move?
No.
So you're in Jackson.
I'm not going nowhere.
I got you.
Everybody tell me to move, and I'll go on vacation for a long time, but I'm not moving. I'm gonna forever be in Jackson.
I got you. And, you know, in the context of this show, Dirty Napkins, I want to talk a little bit we talked about Josephine Kid. You're going to have to take me by there, by the way. I've never had it.
We gotta get them Henny wings, man.
Henny wings. Ooh. They open on Mondays?
No, but I can make something happen, though.
Don't tell me that.
I definitely can. I can make something happen.
But just kind of tell me about some of your, we talked about Zoe's briefly. Obviously, we know you're a big fan of Josephine's. What's some of the other spots in Jackson that you like?
Okay, my go-to spot every day is Names and Faces. Every single day you can catch me.
Is that TP?
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
That's a good friend of mine too, man. He didn't think about. He put it on a lot of events for the city too, man. Yeah. You know that people just really need to tap into. Like I stay downtown, so I literally can walk there.
Word.
Yeah. I stay at the King Edward, so I walk there every day. You know.
Now that's dope.
Yeah, I walk to 4th Avenue too, and they have some good food, great entertainment. I walk to the downtown cigar shop every day. You know, I look at my football games there. You know, it's a great group of.
You a Packers fan?
Most definitely a Packers fan.
Y'all beat the brakes off the tech.
Yeah, we just did that today. You know, we weren't playing no game.
My bad, I ain't mean to cut y'all, man. You're talking
we were
to
coming off an L, you know, so it's cool.
Yeah, that was rough last week.
Yeah, it was rough, dog. But we bounced back though. It's cool. And another food spot, man. You know, Eat with Nick. He got a spot. I think hooked onto the shell off Beasley and French Road. I think I'm saying it right. He got good food, man. Oh my goodness, I can name so many just low-key food spots. It's ridiculous that I go to all the time. And then my brother, his name Mississippi Vance, he barbecue outside of Last Call. And he got some of the best fried ribs you ever ate in your life. Yeah, so like I'm saying, man, I could go on forever when we start talking about food. Cause that's what I do. I go eat out basically every day.
Okay, and you say you stay downtown, right? How did you want to move downtown? Or you just wanted to be central in the city? You may be the first person I know that told me they actually stayed downtown. And I've heard a lot of people say that downtown is in the process of like kind of getting gentrified almost, like they're really kind of really bringing it up. So like, how did you end up?
To be honest, it's crazy. You just asking me these questions. A lot of people don't know this, and this is my first time ever saying this on camera.
Well, that's good. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here.
Something happened to my house where I was basically homeless for 3 months.
Oh wow.
And I was staying at the King Edwards Hotel, and they worked out a deal with me. Where I was like, let me stay here for a discounted rate, and I'll let you have my points. You know, because I needed somewhere to go. And I stayed there for the months of November. I was in a hotel for Thanksgiving. I was there in December and January. And it was a young lady. I was walking out my room one day. The young lady was like, man, we got some apartments across the street from the King Edwards. Do you want to apply? They brand new. And they at an affordable price. And they had saved up some money or whatsoever. And I was like, man, I don't know if I want to stay downtown. And I really waiting on this house to get finished, this, and this. He was like, man, I can move you in this week. So I went and looked at it, and I've been there ever since. See what I'm saying? So that was one of the best moves I ever made in my life because I really love downtown. And I walk everywhere. I ride my bike everywhere.
Oh, you a biker?
Oh, yeah, I be on my bike at the club. Like, I don't care. You know, I ain't got no point to prove. I can drive there if I want to, but I jump on my bike and pull up. You know, so like I said, I ride my bike to Big Abilene. I ride my bike to Johnny T's. I ride my bike to Names and Faces. I ride my bike to 4th. Like I ride my bike everywhere because it's right there in the same vicinity. You know, so I love staying downtown.
I mean, you know, on a softer note, man, we done talked a lot about just your advice on success and stuff like that, right? So let me ask you this question. Straight out the gate, you single, right?
Yep.
First question I got for you, how hard is it to date you?
Very.
Why?
I'm not consistent.
You know that.
I'm not consistent.
And you're a womanizer. As you said, your words, not mine.
I like women.
And according to your Instagram bio, you're a retired side nigga.
Yeah, I was a side nigga for a long time. Yeah. It's just, hey man, I like women. Like I just like choices, but it's so I could go so in depth with that. That'd be a whole nother show.
That'd be a whole nother. There your show go right there, brother. How you talk about it? So then, what's your ideal if a chick, you know, she pull up on you at not Johnny T, Josephine Kitchen. She buy you the Henny wings, right? She in your pocket now. Her next move, what's your ideal date? Like what could she do to woo you?
Oh man, you know what? I'm not hard to be wooed if I already want to mess with you. We can make something happen, you know. Like, man, I just really like having fun. I like if somebody that's like enjoying life, you know. But this gonna sound crazy, but whatever. Like, it's hard to date me because you can't carry yourself any type of way because I'm a whole boss out here, and I really mean that. You know, I feel like that I could be controlling at times, you know, because I know how cats is out here, man, and they'll try to get at you or whatsoever because they know who I am. They'll try to be like, oh man, I talked to the girl, Teezy Thomas whatsoever, and think they got one up on me, not knowing I run through your whole family tree. If you ever think you can mess with me.
You gonna run it up.
Yeah, so yeah, man, like you buy me some food, it's on.
It's on. That's the way to your heart.
What?
So let me ask you this, Shot.
Remy?
You a Remy guy?
Remy Red Bull.
I wish I had known I'd have brought a bottle of Remy instead of the tequila.
Yeah,
I should have
Remy
known
Bull.
you fucking with CJ then.
Yeah,
I should have
Remy Red
known.
Bull, man. That's all I drink.
Quavo girl just came out, Sweetie, I think is her name. Okay. She said if a dude won't buy you a Birkin bag, you need to give him back to the streets. You buying Birkin bags or?
I'm just gonna be real, they too high. Like, why am I buying you that? Why
What's
you
the
buying
point?
a Birkin? No, we can start off at Burlington. Yeah, we not finna go a Birkin. They rich. They living that rich lifestyle. Like, why I'm gonna buy you a Birkin bag?
There's so many people on the gram talk about I need a
You gotta have
Birkin.
a membership. Anybody can't even buy a Birkin. You gotta have like a membership to buy a
School
Birkin
us, school
bag.
me. I ain't even
like,
know. Yeah.
You can't even afford a Louis bag, Prada bag. See what I'm saying? A Mary Kay bag for all of that. You talking about a Birkin? Man, Instagram got these dudes and females going retarded over trying to follow these celebrity lifestyles. Why would you try to buy something that you can't even afford? Whoever's sweet, whatever her name, I bet she can afford it if she wanted it. Quavo can afford it because he bought her one. But how can a female come to me and say, I belong to the street because you can't buy something yourself? No, baby, go get a job.
What you think about, what's your take on Instagram then? Like, we just talking about it, like the reality of Instagram versus the, I guess, facade of Instagram, right? Like,
Instagram is a blessing and a curse because Instagram can be very informative. You can make a lot of money off Instagram. You see OnlyFans popping right now, no matter what you're doing on your OnlyFans. Like,
would you date a girl with an OnlyFans?
I ain't got nothing to do. I ain't never hate on nobody making no money. Yeah, get your money, baby. Like, what's up? Go buy me a Birkin.
Go get you a Birkin off the OnlyFans. So
I give it to my mama.
You were telling me about the blessing and the gift and the curse of Instagram.
Yeah, man. Then the curse is, people living these fake lives and people checking them about it. Like it's a lot of cats that post a lot of guns but scared to shoot a BB gun. You got some people that claim to be gangsters but never got to fight in a day in their life, and they terrified of everything that they rap about. So that's why I say it's a blessing and a curse, man. But me, I'm just solid. Like I'm gonna be me regardless.
So speaking of fighting, you brought that up, man. You said we were talking to Pre. You said you used to fight a lot, man. What was up with that?
It was never my fault, man. It was the people I was with. I was a cool guy. Yeah. But we go to the club together, get into it. I'm with you. Yeah. But hey, man, make sure you put this on camera. Blame it on Lee. It's his fault.
Blame it on Lee.
Yeah, it ain't my fault, man. Blame it on Lee.
Yeah, so Teezy, man, great interview, bro. Good advice, man.
Appreciate
So,
you, man.
I guess to end it all out, like, any advice you have, I know you're passionate about the community, you're passionate about Jackson, anything you want to leave the listeners, the viewers off on?
First off, man, me and my homeboy, K, We finna have a podcast come up or whatsoever. Really, we're gonna go to every hot spot in Jackson pertaining to food. And you know, I love food. We're gonna go around, eat. It's gonna be, you know, I'm a big Dave Chappelle fan, so it's gonna be something within those lines, see what I'm saying? But we're gonna put our own little creative twist to it. It's gonna be real nice, man. Y'all need to stay tuned for that. And if you wanna find me, you know, get in contact with me. You know, my Instagram name is It's Teezy Thomas. It's Teezy Thomas. My Facebook is Teezy Thomas. You know, write me, DM me, whatever, man. Just get in contact with me. Man. I'm not an unapproachable person. You know, I answer everything. Yeah, I'm probably DMs. Unless they weird, you know. It's people write you some weird stuff, man. You know, but I got stories about that too. But that's another story. Yeah.
Well, man, let's end this thing off with a shot, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can do it.
You gonna do it?
What we toasted to?
I was gonna ask you what we toasted to.
Man, we toast to success, man.
To success it
Great
is, my
interview.
brother. To success it is.
Oh yeah.
Well, oh, that was a good one. That's some good tequila. Well, Teezy,
Oh, yeah.
my guy.
Woo!
Great interview. Super solid interview, man. If you don't have nothing else, I'm good, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Stay solid, man. Stay positive, baby.
I hope you enjoyed this interview with Teezy Thomas. Be sure to stay up to date and let us know which restaurants you would like us to review. Make sure you follow us on all social platforms at Dirty Napkins. Until next time, it's your host, Taylor.